Welcome back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. It's your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. I'm here at the Southern Alumni Federation. Federation. I forgot, I said it too many times. Southern Alumni Federation National Convention here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm here with a special guest, one of Southern's fellow alumni, Noah Purnell.
Yeah, how you doing, everybody?
Former track star at Southern University.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's all right. Just a little bit.
Look, Johnny Thomas favors.
Yeah.
Noah, what's going on, brother?
Man, life, brother. Loving life. I think right now it's an appreciation of the life, appreciation of fatherhood.
Yes.
I don't know if you caught up. A lot of things. I had a cardiac arrest 2 years ago. Dropped dead. 11 minutes dead.
Really?
Just warming up in the gym. Just warming up. 11 minutes dead. I came back through. First thing I said is I got to pick up my son. They were like, "We ain't picking up nothing," because I was still thinking I had to go.
Right.
And right now they don't know why. So they've been writing medical articles about me because I don't have any brain damage from the oxygen from my organs, from my brain, and anything like that. So it was like, we don't know why that happened, but we don't know why you don't have any other post issues
Wow.
from that as well.
So you had no symptoms or nothing?
Nothing. They was like, they thought, it was like, "I'm sure you're not on steroids or anything." I was like, "No." It was like, no diabetes, no high blood pressure, no nothing. They still don't know why. I've been going to different specialists around the country, in Florida,
wow.
California, trying to figure out why that happened.
Wow, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, man.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so that's a new form of gratitude I have about, I mean, sure, we have a lot of former alumni that dropped dead and passed away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, damn, I got a reason why I'm here. So, that's one of the things I'm just really grateful for.
100%. And God is real. God's a real thing, a real person, a real entity, real spirit, real presence. And, how they say it in church, they say it wasn't your time yet.
Yeah.
You still got a purpose, a mission to fulfill.
Yeah, because everybody always asks, like, what did you see? And I was like, it felt like someone pulled the plug out of the TV because everything was meant.
You.
Great.
That's it.
That's it.
So you remember.
And then next thing I remember coming back up and like, why am I naked? And why am I shaved down there? What the heck is going on? And they had jokes, nurses trying to do. After they asked me when I asked about my son, he was like, "How tall are you?" I was like, "What I tell the girls or my real height?" So they was laughing at that. So they was like, "You still got your sense of humor, but yeah."
Oh man, that's heavy, man. But I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, man. So
let me ask you this: your experience at Southern University. Tell me about some memorable times at Southern.
Oh shoot.
Years. First of all, the years you was there.
I was there from '99 to '04.
Okay.
So '99 to '04, and I could have stayed longer, but I had to leave. I had a good time. I don't know about everybody else. I had a great college experience. You know what I guess I really remember, I spoke about it earlier on stage, is that I just remember so many great athletes, people, excellence. Everybody was winning. I don't care if it was baseball, whether it was football, there was a standard of excellence. I remember the coaches, whether it was Coach Pete, Coach KR, Coach Thomas. It was dominance and it was brotherhood. I think everybody knew each other, bonded together. It was just a great time.
Yeah.
I love that about SU.
Yeah, one thing about that, we didn't realize that we had legends at every sport just about coaching. They was there for 20 years plus. And not just that, but they dominated.
Yes.
They won championships, and the players that played those sports, we still have a relationship to this day.
Yeah.
We might not talk every day, but when we do see each other,
you can pick up all those things, and I think that's the brotherhood of Southern University and the common bond that we have. Because everybody moved in different circles and cliques, but it was still a bond and respect for each other and each other's craft. So you just appreciate that.
100%. So I want to ask you about that. So we talk about that common bond. When you was on campus, what has that when you had that bond with your fellow alum, your fellow athletes, how has that transitioned over to the real world?
Well, I think I'm thick-skinned. Because you're gonna get people gonna talk shit about you. You have plenty of jokes. People kids call it bidding now. So you can't get things under your skin. And then I think it's a part of excellence. Like everybody wanted to be the best, whatever. Track and field, it was major stuff talked out there.
Yeah.
Only because I was just on Instagram and I seen Frazier, and I just remember Frazier just talking big trash about hurdles at time trials. And you know, I was like, man, I miss those days. I miss that competitiveness, that bond. I think that's what really transitioned over to, you know, corporate America, and now that I'm in private equity, is that I want to dominate, and I want to do something that, you know, everyone says that hasn't done before, but I haven't done before. So that's what's driving me to, you know, to push forward. You know, because I've raised money for apartment buildings before, a little over $7 million, but it was predominantly white people. And so now I'm just doing it a little different. I'm just like, all right, I want to see who's from SU alumni, who's from this right there, different minorities. How can we do this? And it's just not them investing with me. It's, hey, how about you guys pull your money into an investment club, and you can invest whatever you want, but I need you to put your money to work. You know, just don't leave it idle.
Right.
Put your money to work. It doesn't have to be with me, but I don't want you just leaving your money idle and not having it work for you.
Right. So a lot of people don't know that you competed in NCAA regionals.
Yes.
Right. As a track star. So as a track star, his son's over there trying to grab the camera. So you competed in the NCAA regionals. I want to know that level of competition and how it translates to the real world business.
So I'm gonna give you a little backstory about that. We were feuding behind the scenes going into regionals, and that was even for the 4x1 and trying to do individual races.
Yeah.
And the 4x1 is that with your different teammates, I'm not gonna mention that person's name just because he's not here to actually go back and forth with that. But they were like, oh, you shouldn't be on this relay right now. And then other people like, no, you know, actually everybody said he shouldn't be on the relay, but Coach T really had a liking for him. They used to call him Coach T's son or whatever. And so,
I know you're talking about.
So we were beefing big behind the scenes of that. But I think the level of execution that you have, and what I mean to say about this is that when you get on the track, we still had to leave those personal things aside, because we was like, hey, we still have one goal, and guess what? We still going to have to go out here and try to dominate and do what others don't think is possible.
Right. No, that's I already know you're talking about. So I remember. So y'all don't know this, but we all used to hang with each other, and one of our mutual friends, Frazier, he was like the catalyst for confusion, right? So he used to start issues amongst teams, because Frazier played football and track. So
it's hilarious, though.
So a lot of trash talk went on outside behind the closed doors, but that was a good time.
Good time, like I said, it was a good time. You can't be sensitive, you know, during that era.
The Belmont Victoria days. And Jamie McClendon apartment. That's all that we reminiscing.
I talked to him last week too. Yeah, I talked to him last week. Yeah,
but we can talk about that on camera. So let me ask you this.
That's funny, man.
Right. So let me ask you this. Oh man. So when it comes to being a track star,
yes,
right? Venture capital,
yep,
private equity,
yep.
Is there any comparison with those two, and with the competition in those fields?
Yeah, because it's dominated by money and accessible money that's there to you. I kind of look at it as you go on like Southern compared to LSU, and what type of funds are just really accessible to you. I think that's probably the main difference between you know, I guess track and private equity. I think it still takes a amount of discipline, resolve, and actually being able to be punched in your face over and over again, meaning failures, and be like, you know what, all right, I'm still gonna go ahead and see this through, whatever. You know, we just launched the fund in last November, but it's been worked on for the past 3 years, just to make sure that everything was done correctly with the SEC. And so that's tons of soft capital that you're placing out to lawyers, just to make sure that, guess what, this is legitimate, because I'm not going to federal prison for nobody. You know, like, who gonna raise something? Like, that's why he comes with me everywhere. I'm a single fellow. So like I've always had him travel with me since he was 3 months old. So he comes everywhere with me. We're a package deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's legit. I like that, man. You're a father, and you're doing what you need to do to get things done. Last question: what is your ultimate goal when it comes to private equity, Southern University, things that you got going on, your son, everything?
So my biggest thing right now, I guess that's twofold. I think I'm doing all this right now because I want to buy into a sports franchise.
Okay.
So I want to be an owner. So whether that's in MLS, that's in the NHL, I want to be an owner. So what I'm doing right now, from buying larger apartment buildings, we have 608 units through syndications throughout Humble, Texas, Katy, Texas, Lubbock, and Louisville. I'm just building a track record that I can handle large sums of money.
Yeah.
That's all I'm building up with the SEC. Like, hey, you building that up because that's how sports teams are paid for.
Right.
Is this venture capitalists? The second part of it is with him is that I never want him to ever see me timid or walking on eggshells. Meaning, yeah, guess what? They always say you can drop dead at any time. I'll still push through whatever. I don't want him to ever say, guess what? My dad, was scared or timid, whatever.
Right.
You know, the only thing short about me is my height. I'm always just pushing forward, so I want him to always know, like, go get it. Just go get it, whatever. That's what I really want right now.
You sound like T.I. T.I. had a line in the song. He said he's 5'9" with a soul of 6 foot. But you 5'5" with a soul of 6 foot. I got it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, no. So no. How can the people get in contact with you in terms of investment, in terms of just talking to you on social media, even talk about old track stories?
Oh yeah, any of that. My email is nparnell@invictus, INVICTUS elite capital.com, and then on Instagram I'm Noel Parnell _Noel Parnell. If you want, like I said, I'm not selling anything, but I always want to give just any type of knowledge and make sure that, hey, these are the right avenues and people to talk to that you can actually utilize your money to invest.
100%, man. Thank you for coming on, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Good seeing you, man. I see you. When we leave here, you already know what's going to happen. So, guys, I'm glad you guys tuned in to the show. Y'all know to find me, Coastal Distinct, everywhere, man. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. Welcome back to the Coastal Distinct podcast. Your boy, Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. We're here in Dallas, Texas at the Southern University Alumni Federation National Convention. I'm here with Dr. Andrews, the Dean of the College of Business at Southern University. How you doing, brother?
Doing very well. Happy to be here with you.
Hey, look, I just found out, this is how you know, I just found out that when I played football here, Dr. Andrews and his team fed us.
Right.
And I didn't even know. That's why I say you guys got to come to the conventions like this so we connect, so we get this information.
Pete Ridgely was one of my heroes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he was very impactful and pivotal at the time that he was at Southern.
Right.
The things that he did. But I thank you for that.
Yeah, he brought back the spirit of Coach Monk.
100%.
Yeah.
Of winning and
Right.
and fanfare.
And building athletes and professionals in the process.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, Dr. Andrews, could you tell us a little bit about what the College of Business is doing right now?
Well, we're doing a lot of great things in the College of Business. We've added new programs, and we traditionally have accounting, finance, management, marketing, and now we added risk management and insurance. Chancellor Pierre talked about that. We have one of the only degree programs in risk management and insurance. We got $1.3 million from the Lion Foundation that helped us to launch that particular program. We also are adding a program, a major in entrepreneurship. We have a minor in entrepreneurship, but now we're adding a major because we feel more or less that students now, everyone talks about what are the jobs of the future going to look like. So I think the best way to predict the future is to help create the future. We just can't rely on Silicon Valley to come out with all these things in terms of AI and all the other things doing. We have to more or less collaborate at Southern University with engineering, computer science, and others, and businesses to commercialize some of the projects and activities that our students are creating.
I want to ask you this. I want to stay on that for a second. Engineering. Entrepreneurship.
Right.
This is the day and age where AI has scared a lot of people. And I use the term scared because a lot of people that's been working in traditional jobs for 20, 30 years, they're saying that AI is going to take over their job.
Right. Well, I've gone through this before. I grew up on a small cotton farm in northeast Louisiana. we were in poverty, didn't know we were in poverty. And at that time, agriculture was revolutionizing in terms of mechanical cotton pickers, so they no longer needed people in the fields,
Right.
Herbicides, all those sort of things. So basically, the technology of that particular time took away a lot of jobs. But I saw that it was creating jobs in other areas. And so basically, you have to understand that when technology is changing, it's changing in two dimensions. It's taking away some jobs, but it's also creating jobs, but you have to be educated in order to more or less adjust. So then I went more or less and worked at an automobile assembly plant in Southgate, California.
Okay.
And then I saw more or less that technology there was changing as well. And so basically, Google and all the other things that were coming out, the internet. And so basically, I went to school and sort of stayed in school. I went to Southern University, majored in business. Then I went to University of Florida, became an economist, and I also went to Texas A&M University. So I just kept going to school and continued. So basically, education is a lifelong journey.
So,
and I see you on that same journey.
100%.
Right.
100%. I guess kind of to what you said. I'm more of on the progression side and the proactive side,
Right.
versus reacting.
Right.
Because I see the wave of what's going on.
Right.
And I'm not saying I could take over, but let me find this trend.
Right.
To see, okay, how does this suit my strong suit,
Right.
which is my purpose and
Right.
my educational level.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about Southern University and the College of Business. I know business is one of those cliche terms, right? When somebody says I'm in school for business,
Right.
You mentioned some things that Southern offers, but I want to talk about business specifically.
Okay.
Right. In business, what are some things that Southern University, this is for kids that want to come to Southern,
Right.
that they offer within business?
Right. So we have great programs, as I said. In other words, you've seen here at this conference, some of the people that are leading this conference came out of the business school. I don't know if you know Mr. James Brown or not, but he's an accounting graduate from the College of Business.
That's happening.
Right. And I think Brandon Tyson, I think she's leading one of these programs as well. She's a graduate of the College of Business in terms of accounting as well. So our accounting students have done great. Come out and get a CPA. You can write your own ticket. Within marketing, we have a professional sales concentration. Everything in business, basically business does not move unless you do what? Make a sale.
That's right.
You've got to satisfy somebody's problem that they're trying to solve. And so therefore we are saying in order to be successful in business, you've got to understand how to communicate. You've got to understand more or less how to talk to individuals, how to manage people, human resources. We have concentrations in that. So basically what business is solving people's everyday problems.
Yes.
And so we make sure our students understand how to communicate. Going through the college, they're going to have to get up before an audience and make a speech or whatever the case may be. Business plans, we're doing a lot within marketing. We have digital marketing and analytics. In terms of our overall risk management and insurance, we saw the issue of Hurricane Katrina and all the things that are taking place on the Gulf Coast in terms of hurricane and disaster. So we have to have individuals understand how to manage for those type disasters. That's what insurance is all about.
Yes.
How do you recover and go on from that particular program or that particular accident or prevention and things of that nature.
So how?
And in entrepreneurship, what we're saying that you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. There's a growth mindset.
Yeah.
In other words, people are saying, and we're here talking about wanting to raise money and things of that nature. Well, education has become a business.
I understand.
In other words, people have to understand, I say all the time, Southern University at one time was state supported. Then it became state assisted.
Okay.
And then it's now basically located in the state. So basically what I'm saying,
it's just here, right?
in other words, of the way we operate today, 75% of that budget that we have comes from student tuition. So basically what we're saying, the state used to provide 75%. Now it's only providing 25%. That should give you a signal that, hey, we've got to go out and do what? We've got to create our own activities and services and things of that nature. And I think one of the chancellors was saying, we're like a business. And so therefore we have to understand how to operate like a business and how can we generate the resources that we need. We look at places like Harvard, and I've been there. You look at places like Cal Berkeley, I've been there. They've got their students, and their students more or less go out and create a business and then come back and do what? provide resources to continue that virtuous cycle.
Yes.
So we have to think in those things. We're not state supported anymore. We're on our own, and we've got to understand how do we more or less engage our students, because those are the real jewels that we can polish those and become diamonds, and they can come out more or less and come back and help more or less continue that overall mission.
Dean Andrew, have you ever been a preacher?
No, I haven't.
Because you motivated me to.
Well,
You
my
motivated
mother
me.
always wanted me to be a preacher, but I told her, no, I'm not going to be a preacher.
No, because you're stating the facts and you're stating at a high level. And
Well, I'm just saying, in other words, we've got to determine our own destiny.
That's right.
Okay? People like Booker T. Washington and people like the Clarks that started Southern University and PBS Pinchback and all those
Yep.
people, they were living in terrible times.
Yes.
And so if they could understand the value of a university is about increasing and making life better for the people that you serve.
That's right.
And that's our obligation. We've got to help these kids, and we've got to help them become successful. A lot of people out there are lost. And basically, we got to be that shining light on the hill to help them guide themselves to success.
100%. What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, I don't know, that I tried to help somebody, that I
Okay.
tried more or less to help someone to understand what life is really all about. So I think a lot of people don't understand what the goals and objectives are and how you can help other people, to help themselves. In other words, I started, I worked in the cotton field, I worked on a General Motors assembly line, but education is so transformative. I mean, people like Frederick Douglass, people like Booker T. Washington, people like Gandhi, and all these individuals understood the power of what basically you can do to transform yourself. You don't
Yes.
have to wait on other people to help you. You can help others to help themselves. That's what
100%.
my grandmother always told me.
Help others to help themselves.
Right.
And those people that you mentioned, one that was impactful, two, they were mindset changers.
Right.
They changed their mindset.
And just think about people like Mandela.
Yeah.
He said education is the most powerful tool to transform the world.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. We say that now, but I can't get into the political side of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So how can alumni or future alumni get in contact with your office or the school to be interested in the College of Business?
Right. Well, you can go to the website, Southern University website. I have a website, Donald-R-Andrews.com. And, you can reach me at my cell phone number, 225-921-3890. And so you can go to the university website, College of Business, you can see it there.
Got you. Dean Andrews, I thank you for coming up, giving us this information.
And thank you. I'm great to see Pete, more or less, his legacy is in you guys.
100%.
Right.
100%. I try to give what's being given.
Okay?
Blessed to be a blessing.
All right.
So guys, we about to tune off. We about to finish off the convention. But guys, make sure you tag in, you tune in. Coastal Distinct. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. Peace. Welcome back to the Coastal Distinct podcast. It's your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. We're here in Dallas, Texas, at the Southern University Alumni Federation National Convention, and I'm here with a powerhouse. You've probably seen this young lady. She is the chancellor of the Southern University Shreveport's campus. We have Dr. Aubrey Gant. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Aubrey.
You did great.
Yeah. How you doing, Ms. Dr. Gant?
I'm doing well.
So how was this convention treating you?
Well, the convention is doing quite well, treating me well.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So I see you got that smile on your face, so it has to be doing real well.
Yes.
So I want to jump right into it. Let me ask you about the campus. How long have you been the chancellor over there in Shreveport?
This month make 3 years that I've been honored to serve as the leader at Southern University at Shreveport.
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. I want to ask you about degrees and career pathways with kids. Now, this is a technological age, and a lot of kids, they don't want to do the full-way process.
Yes.
Right? A lot of kids are going to community colleges, or they going to a smaller system school like Southern University of Shreveport. Could you tell us about programs that you guys have up there in Shreveport?
Yes, and I'm glad you are keeping abreast of what's happening in higher education and around the country. You're absolutely right. Students are really selecting to attend 2-year campuses.
Mm-hmm.
They're also interested in certificates. Many are interested in certificates. Lots of it come from, debt. Students are concerned about dealing with debt after graduation. Yes. At Southern University at Shreveport, some of our signature programs include many of our allied health and nursing programs, as well as aviation technology. Many people are not aware that we have an aviation program where we train individuals how to actually build airplanes and to work on airplanes as well. But one of our programs that stand out is our dental hygiene program. It's one of the only dental hygienes at HBCU in Northwest Louisiana and throughout the region. And so we're really excited about that program. We have waiting lists all the time, but it's the same in like our surgical tech, our nursing programs, rad tech. We have several programs to offer. And students are also looking at, sometimes the students we see, they are looking for a certificate, maybe those special ed courses where they can come and take classes for 12 weeks, earn a certificate to take back to their jobs for promotions and those type things.
Okay, I want to ask you about expectations when it comes to that, because I was speaking with the Dean of Science and Engineering, and he was speaking about the cross-register when it comes to the 2-year program versus the 4-year program, or if they wanted to go into the 4-year program, they can start off at a smaller school like Southern Shreveport and go into another program with those credit hours. Could you talk about that?
Yes, that's a very good observation. In Shreveport, we have those 2-year programs. We encourage students to transfer, and our hope is that they would transfer to Southern University of New Orleans, Southern University of Baton Rouge to the 4-year program. We have several 2+2, like our engineering programs and some of our allied health programs. However, we've gone just a little bit further. One of the presidents at Southern University, Baton Rouge, was really brilliant when they came up with the model of SUSLA Connect.
Okay.
And so we have a program on the Baton Rouge campus. If students do not meet the admissions requirements at Southern University Baton Rouge, we have a program, Southern University Shreveport has a program housed in Baton Rouge where those students can enter SU Connect, take courses until they get to a point of meeting those admission requirements for the 4-year institution. And that program is doing quite well. We know we can use some more wraparound services to strengthen that program, but that is definitely a program that's working. I had a parent who's here today, one of our alums. Her son started in SUSLA Connect, was really frustrated about having to, start at SUSLA Connect, but he embraced it. She mentioned to me today he went on to complete SUSLA Connect, he earned his 4-year degree at Southern University of Baton Rouge in business management. He went further to earn an MBA, and now he's in Atlanta, Georgia, working. And so he really talks about how important SUSLA Connect is, and so it was a great success story. I was really happy to hear that here at the conference.
That's good, and that's a good segue, because I like that, because I wanted to go there in terms of fellow alumni, right, and them investing back into their, the system of Southern. Could you speak to the fellow alumni that want to invest back into, say, those programs? Because I know, and I want to venture off to this, but I'm going to just be brief to it, the big, beautiful bill and the funding. A lot of funding is going to be cut from schools like Southern. Absolutely. So I want to know, what are some ways that, like I said, some fellow alumni could invest back into the university?
That's a good observation, too, the big, beautiful bill, and I won't talk about it long either, but the audience should know that in Louisiana, we're probably going to be impacted the most, HBCUs, because of the number of HBCUs that we have in the state of Louisiana. So it's going to impact our students the most, because those students may and may not have the opportunity to earn a higher education as many in the past. Our alums, we are in a situation now where many of you know that we are not getting state appropriations like we've done in the past. I believe next year we're going to see perhaps some cuts. There's a possibility that's on the horizon. And so we really need individuals just to kind of think about where you started, right? We have nurses that are out there, and many nurses who are out there, they started in 2-year programs. We need help through scholarships. We need those dollars, but not, and even if it's not the dollars, mentorship. I talked this morning about how important mentoring is to our students. I mean, if you're an engineer, we need you at Southern University as well to mentor our students who are in those 2-year programs. And so those programs are really important. Workforce, if you're in the workforce, we want to make sure that all of our programs are aligned with workforce needs, and that's one of the things that we've been able to do in the last 2 years. Most of our curriculum are aligned to workforce needs. But we need individuals who are part of our alumni to come back and serve on advisory boards, to tell us what should we be teaching in the classroom to help our students be successful, and outside of the classroom, because we're hearing a lot about soft skills. Our students know how to perform the job when they get there, but their communication, and how they deal with situations when things come up that they are not accustomed to dealing with. And so we need our alums to help us in those areas. We are really blessed to have several alums, but we have 2 alums in Tina and Tony Williams who invest in Southern University. We have the Williams Center, where the Williams Center actually focused on young men who are interested in STEM programs. And that program is, we're coming up on a 10-year mark now that program has been in existence. But they are also opening up a female program in honor of their daughter, Dynasty Nicole Williams Legacy Center. And we'll be opening that up in August, I think it's, September 3rd. And then they've gone even farther. We have a building next door, which was an elementary school, Newton Smith Elementary. They actually, out of the kindness of their heart and their generosity, they donated dollars for us to purchase the land. The state of Louisiana gave us $19.5 million for a project, and the project will be a workforce training center, where we will name part of that, with board approval, after their daughter, and some things that we will be doing an innovation center at Southern University of Shreveport. So that is something that is really, it's big, it's huge for a 2-year campus.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Big things up there.
Yes, and so we're really excited about that. And so our goal is to reach those students, as we've talked about, those students who are not interested in a 4-year degree. If you really look at some of the research, mechanics, African-American mechanics are aging out of that field. And so we need automotives, right? And so we're looking at electricians and some other areas where we can give students the opportunity to look at stackable credentialing, right? And so we'll have some other energy programs and those type of things where students can start at Southern University Shreveport, but they can transfer to Baton Rouge or New Orleans. And so we're part of a system where students can start with a certificate and finish with a PhD.
Wow.
And so I'm really happy about some of the things that are happening at Southern University at Shreveport.
I like that, because you're giving people a head start early, versus having that pressure, say you need a 4-year, and jump in and have all this pressure on them saying I gotta get this 4-year, versus saying, let me get this certification, you know what, I can do 2 more. Let me get this associates, you know what, I can do 2 more. Let me get a bachelor's, I can do 2 more. Let me get a master's, and now you're a doctor.
And that's the stackable credential, right? And those is really helping. I mean, I did that work here in Texas, and so I know it firsthand how it can actually benefit the student. And then I'm a product of Southern University at Shreveport as well. I started there. So that's where the passion comes from. So I know the value of an associate degree. I know the value of the education that Southern University system offers to student education in this system. Has definitely been transformational for me. And the goal is to reach as many students as I can, along with the team at Southern University at Shreveport, that we transform their lives through education.
100%. I want to get more softer and more lighter, because this was a heavy conversation, right? You mentioned that you went to Southern University as an undergrad, right?
Yes.
I want your most memorable moment. Since we had a convention, I want your most memorable moment at Southern University.
Oh, I'll tell you. I had the opportunity to serve as a hostess at the College of Sciences Symposium. And I was in the School of Social Work. Dr. Demetria McJulian was our department chair. And one of the things she said to me, she said, listen, I want you to meet Dr. Spikes, Dolores Spikes. And Dr. Spikes was our president at the time. And I thought, you want me to meet her? She said, yes. So dress appropriate. I want you to serve as hostess in the president's house. And so I had the opportunity of meeting Dr. Dolores Spikes.
This was what, 98, 99?
No, it was in 93.
93, okay.
It was 93 when I had the opportunity to meet her in 1993. And she was the first individual I had to meet, female, in higher education, really in any high-level position at the time. And that meeting with her changed my life. I really could see myself being in a leadership role in higher education.
Mhm.
And so I set out to do things to make sure that, you know, I could be in that position someday, because she touched my life and I wanted to be an example to young females. If I could do it, then they could do it as well.
100%.
So that was my most memorable moment at Southern University.
You know what's, and this is my opinion. You didn't say this. I said this. I think Southern University in this progression, the most progressive Southern been is under woman leadership. That's my opinion. Laura Spikes was like pivotal and impactful when she was there. Those times, the years she was there, Southern had the highest numbers and everything
Yes.
under woman's leadership.
Yes.
So we need it. We need women's leadership like yourself.
And
So,
something that stands out for me that she said in one of fall convocations, and it's out. She said, and I believe in this, she said, you know, I may not be able to get dollars that we build new buildings. So it wasn't a lot of new buildings built under her administration, if my memory serves me correctly. But she said that, but one thing we would do, we would keep the buildings clean that we have, so students would like to come in those buildings.
Mhm.
I believe in that. I think of that every day. The buildings we have, yes, many of them almost 60 years old and we're building new, but the least we can do is keep our buildings clean.
keep it clean, right?
Yes, and that's something that she would say, and it may be small, but that's something that stuck with me in that speech that she gave.
Good. That's impact. I call that impact.
Yes.
That's impact. So how can students, parents, alum get in contact with your team?
www.susla.edu. They can log on and they can meet with anyone. I mean, they can actually different individuals in the department. It would
Okay.
actually take them to our website, and we have a directory online where they can reach out to those various departments. And so we're happy to talk to students who are interested in those 2-year programs.
Got you. Guys, Dr. Gant, she gave all the information. I'll have no more. Guys, this is us logging on, Costly Distinct. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. About the Hardwood Club. So is that
Just like KSL, very anonymous.
Yeah, very.
But we serve.
Serve and raise a lot of money. We've done a lot. You see,
Hey, no, we
when
pay
you
to
go
serve.
when you go
We
in
pay
the
to serve.
basketball arena,
Yeah.
the basketball court,
Yeah.
that's Hardwood Club
Really?
and KSL.
Okay.
Scores table, Hardwood Club.
Let me get this started because you got my mind going right now. All right. Shout out, Costly Distinct. What I'm doing? Hold on. Welcome back.
Costly Distinct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back. We good. Welcome back. Costly Distinct Podcast. Your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. We're here in Dallas at the Southern Alumni Federation National Conference. We have some heavy hitters and one brother that you guys probably don't know, but y'all do know. You know what I'm saying? He's everywhere, but you've probably never seen his face. I got brother Matt
Valer.
I said
Valer.
Valer on the show. Now, he have some notable businesses that you know about. Do you mind sharing the names of these businesses, or you want me to share it?
Oh, I can. So,
Okay,
what
well,
you say?
so the names of your businesses that you have, that you own.
Well, I'm the CEO of Care South, which
Okay.
is a healthcare system headquartered in Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
We have locations in Downsonville, Plaquemine, Zachary, as well as Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
Also have a consulting company, the Chevrolet Properties and Consulting, and also Valet Enterprises.
See, look, this brother right here is a heavy hitter, so he's a quiet brother. He walked up on me, I said, "What you want, man?" "I ain't got no money for you." He got all the money.
I don't have all the money.
So,
I
man,
have some of it.
I want to jump straight into it, man, because let me ask you this. What is your passion, and why do you love Southern University so much?
My passion is helping people that look like me.
Okay.
And I love Southern because Southern made me a man.
Mm-hmm.
Came from Carencro, Louisiana in 1994. When my father had went to college, so didn't know a lot. He dropped me off at Southern, and 5 years later I had a degree and pursued a master's at Southern as well. So I'm a son of Southern and always want to give back, because without Southern, I wouldn't be the CEO of Care South.
100%. So what was your degree? What did you major in?
Undergrad was biology, and
Okay.
I got a master's in public administration and healthcare concentration.
Okay, so now my wheels are turning now because you're an entrepreneur. I was talking to a lot of chancellors today. We were talking about entrepreneurship. We were talking about some innovative ways that Southern University is going to help the kids coming in with entrepreneurship. Was that a tool that you had, or was that a revenue, not even a revenue, but an avenue that you had when you was undergrad with Southern?
Yes, I had a lot of mentors.
Okay.
Dr. Willis Jacobs in undergrad, as well as Dr. James Lorenz in public administration, that kind of taught me how to carry myself as a businessman and what was needed in the professional world. So
Okay.
always look to mentors and businessmen to talk, and if I've gravitated to many that give me a few little nuggets, and I do a lot of reading and do a lot of things on my own.
Okay, so give me one of your most memorable moments while you was on the yard.
Oh, crossing Alpha Phi Alpha.
Okay.
In front of that union with thousands of people,
Okay.
all over buildings.
Was it Pretty Wednesday?
Yeah, it definitely was. And we were looking very good.
Yeah. Okay, Alpha. Okay, I got
Spring
you.
98.
98?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So now, I want to jump into it. What made you start Carousel? Because I understand, being from Louisiana, I'm a native Louisianian, but moving to Texas, I noticed that Texas had a big influx of individuals talking about healthcare, right? From the mental health standpoint to the physical health standpoint. But Louisiana at that time wasn't a place that really focused on healthcare, right? What was one of the main reasons why you started this?
Well, Carousel has been around since 1997.
Okay.
I've been the CEO since January of 2016. Worked for the Louisiana Department of Health 13 years before that. So saw a lot of the gaps in the healthcare system and got a good tutelage at the state health department. So when I came into this role, I was really ready to grow the organization, which we have been able to do. When I came to Carousel, we was a $7 million organization. We're gonna do $50 million this year.
Wow.
We have 53 employees then. We have about 240 now. We just finished and had a ribbon cutting 2 days ago in a 35,000 square foot
Congratulations.
facility in a disinvested area of Baton Rouge.
Okay.
So I guess I would just say I found my niche and I'm running with it.
So now hold up, you can't pass by this. I heard you say you were the CEO. You went from public health to CEO. It don't happen like that.
Yeah.
Take us through that process.
Well, after grad school, I started at the state health department in February 2003, and was able to move up to various positions. I started in tobacco control, so it kind of laid the groundwork for community and grassroots work and policy change. Moved forward to a chronic disease director, where I oversaw some statewide programs around diabetes, cardiovascular health, asthma. And then my last role was, for 5.5 years, I was the deputy director of the Center of Community and Preventive Health. So I oversaw statewide programs and all of the parish health units. So I oversaw tuberculosis, immunization, maternal and child health, family planning, HIV and STD.
Right.
So all those programs at a statewide level, and all of those programs we pretty much do at the FQHC, so at Carousel. So I had a statewide tutelage that kind of brought me into a more smaller location, being Baton Rouge, and it's one thing I always tell folks: I wanted to permeate and make it great in Baton Rouge and Carousel, and watch it permeate throughout the state. So I think we've been able to do that. So.
Yeah, definitely. You guys definitely are doing that. You guys are very impactful in what you guys do. Not just that, impactful from the Louisiana standpoint, but you're impactful from helping Southern out, supporting Southern. So I want to transition to that, helping Southern out. So I've seen your shirt, the Hardwood Club, right? If you guys ever been to a Southern football game or Southern basketball game, Matt has some type of contribution to that, or the Hardwood Club. I can say Matt, this is the Hardwood Club, has some type of contribution to that. I want you to go into what the Hardwood Club is.
So the Hardwood Club was started as a fundraising arm for basketball years ago. About 5 years ago, we kind of transitioned and wanted to be the fundraising arm for all athletics, because we got more student athletes than just basketball.
100%.
So we started a golf tournament. This will be our 5th annual golf tournament. Is August 17th at University Club in Baton Rouge. We've raised over $500,000 during that time. This year we should bring in about $150,000, and we'll net about $100,000. So all of that money goes into athletics. So various teams, we've given over $30,000 to the golf team, over $50,000 to football and probably over about 150,000 to basketball.
Really?
So we've helped with the basketball court. We've also helped with the scores table about 2 years ago. So we look at enhancing the fan experience. So we have 20 members. They're prominent individuals throughout the Baton Rouge area, all with ties to Southern and love Southern as well.
Why is it so important for you to get back to Southern? Because now we're in the same category in terms of age, and we was on campus at the same time. The conversations was had. I'm not giving Southern nothing. I'm not giving Southern no money. You know the narrative, that negative narrative, right? Why is it so important for you to give back to your institution that educated you?
Because there are other people that look like me. They're young individuals who are hungry, just like I was coming onto Southern's campus as an 18-year-old, and they still need those opportunities. So, like I said, without Southern, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's why I give back and want to do even more. Switching back to Care South, back in 2019, we donated $1.4 million to Southern over 5 years.
Wow.
That just ended in this last month. We made our final installment, so we'll be looking to do something even bigger over the next 5 years.
Wow.
And be intentional as we have been with the money and the dollars. 'Cause, you know, a lot of these budgets on the education side are shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting as much money from the state. There's not a lot of scholarship dollars. I have 3 kids in college right now, so I know there's no such thing as a full scholarship.
No.
Mom and daddy have to spend some money or get some loans, so just want to do our part in order to give back. And kids need to understand the importance of going to those HBCUs. That was the only place we could go.
That's right.
At one time.
That's right.
I think that has been forgotten. As the generations pass, a lot of that history has been forgotten. So we need to talk to these young individuals of why it's so important to go to HBCU, because 2 generations ago, that's all we could go to.
100%. I tell everybody that our greatest resource in life is network. Right? It's about not what you have in your pocket. It's about who you know.
That's very important. I know a lot of people.
You know what I'm saying? That's good, man. So, in closing, what do you want your legacy to be after, you know, Care South has did what it did? It migrated to 7 states, and Hardwood Club is, generating all of the funds for Southern Athletics. What do you want your legacy to be?
I would just say I want others who look like me and who are Southern University grads to give back. It's not really about a legacy. I always tell my kids I do this for them.
Okay.
I want someone, if I would so happen to untimely pass, I want someone to say, Matt Valer was so good to others. We want to be good to his kids.
100%.
So I would say my legacy is to continue to help Southern as much as possible, and other individuals who I know can help Southern do the same.
100%. How can we get in contact with you?
Or you can't.
You gotta know. If you know, you know, right?
It's simple.
Hey, I get you. Look,
Someone got my number a few weeks ago. I said, "How you get my number?" She said, "I'm resourceful." So in order to get in touch with me, be resourceful.
that's right. And look, I'm gonna end it on that. If you know, you know. Look, man, thank you for coming on the show, brother.
I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir. Look, again, we're recording live from Dallas, Texas for the Southern University National Convention. Guys, look, if you see Matt, holla at Matt, but he ain't got no money, by the way. He ain't got no money. He told me already. I already asked. He ain't got no money. So, guys, look, Costly Distinct, once again, man, I thank you guys for tuning in, man. I love you guys. You can't do nothing about it. Peace. So, we're here at Dallas, Texas at, what is this? Where are we? We're at the what?
We are at the Southern University Alumni Federation's National Conference.
Conference. Yeah, I said convention. I just meant you.
Oh, that's fine. That's
And I'm here with Michelle Jones. She's the Vice
I'm the Assistant Director
Director of Alumni Affairs. How you
Yes.
doing?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing great. I want to ask you this,
Yes.
Ms. Jones.
Mhm.
First of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's awesome. How are you enjoying the conference?
I'm loving the conference, but not loving the heat.
Well, you're right. It was 108 degrees the other day.
Yes,
It's
yes.
kind of hot.
But I love the heat that the alums have brought.
100%. 100%. I loved it too. I love the power, the impact, and things that alumni we got going on. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about alumni affairs. What is alumni affairs for the Southern alum that don't even know, that's not even aware of what's going on?
Okay, we have the Southern University Alumni Affairs, which is a governance of the university. And meaning that the university recognizes alumni affairs as a part of the institution.
Mm-hmm.
And Alumni Federation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization under the umbrella of Alumni Affairs.
Okay.
So the Federation and Alumni Affairs are one and the same, but are not.
Okay.
Because like I said, Alumni Affairs is under the university side, but the Federation is a nonprofit entity of its own.
Got you. Well, that's for funding purposes. I already know that. I already know that. So let's talk about what Southern has going for the alumni in terms of alumni affairs. Because the reason I asked that question, I went to school here, and I wasn't aware that we had alumni affairs.
Mm-hmm.
I was aware of the foundation and the federation, but I wasn't aware of alumni affairs. So for a kid or someone that's in school now, are alumni, how can they help out with alumni affairs?
Okay, from an alum standpoint, such as myself, I was a recipient of a scholarship from the alumni.
When? Okay, you're talking
From
about
the Alumni Federation.
Okay.
And the Alumni Affairs, as I said before, is an entity of the university, but the Alumni Federation is its own entity. And in doing so, as I stated, I received my scholarship from the Alumni Federation. The Federation raises its own funds in order to be able to help incoming students or students that are experiencing a hardship.
Okay.
And how students do find us, a lot of people on campus, faculty and staff, you know, alums as well. We'll send students to our office and say, okay, hey, do you have any book stipends? Do you have any emergency funds? You know, anything that we can help with. And with the Federation being an entity of its own, they don't receive any funding from the university.
Okay.
So all of their funding that they receive
Private.
to operate off of you know, to give out stipends, to give out scholarships for emergency purposes, just whatever, is done from the membership dues that come in,
Okay.
as well as additional fundraising that takes place. Like our first VP, Ms. Agita Fontaine Hall,
Mhm.
I mean, had a very successful day party last year, which generated a profit of over $30,000.
Wow.
So that helped increase our number of stipends that we were able to give out. Because we started at 20, then we got up to 30, and then we're up to 40,
Yeah.
and this is per semester. Because our funding does leave very quickly, because it's
Mhm.
like a revolving door. But hey,
100%.
look at, we're in 2026. Everyone needs money. Everyone needs funds, you know? So that's why we encourage the alums to try to give back,
Yeah.
you know, and to try to do, and trying to get the young alum engaged now. So when you graduate, you understand the importance of giving back and not waiting statistically 30 years
Right.
to try to give funding back. That's statistically, that's what it was, about
No,
30 years before they start giving money back.
100%. You know, and that's funny you said that, because we have these conversations all the time. When I say we, me and some of my former teammates that went to Southern, and the first thing they mention, if I say, man, just give some money, man, give them 250, give them 500. The first thing I'm gonna say is, for what? Where my money going? And you just addressed that. I'm glad you did, because people that, I think it's a missing piece, right? The missing piece is, I think, that it's not marketed to the public what Southern does with the funds. You see what I'm saying? Because they have these stigmas and these narratives
Right,
and these
right.
all these other things. So I'm not giving out money because of this
This
reason,
is- yeah.
right? Well, they don't know the real behind it. But I'm glad that you explained that and articulated that so people can understand that. So now, can anybody donate?
Yes, anyone can donate. Our website is www.sualumni.org. You can call our office 225-771-4200. Either see myself, either see Mr. Dixon, our executive director, or any board member, executive board member. It's an open book, just like our door is an open door. We accept all funding,
Yes, sir.
whether it be public or private.
Yes.
You know, and we accept all donations, any amount. Nothing's too small.
So, Ms. Jones, you went to Southern, right?
Yes, I did, 2
So-
degrees.
Okay. T. So I want to ask you this before we close.
Yes.
I want to ask you your most memorable moment while you was on campus. And this don't have to be a serious moment. This could be a fun moment.
You know what? My most memorable moment, and to be honest with you, was actually receiving my executive master's last December.
Congratulations.
I said, after having been off campus for 32 years, that's when I got my undergraduate degree 32 years ago, and to walk back across that stage at 50 plus years old, did it in a year's time, that
Wow.
to me was memorable. And for my daughter and my grandkids to be able to see it, so
Wow.
that was memorable.
That's good.
Mhm.
I'm glad you got your master's.
I did.
How they say? How they used to say? Look like today. So guys, that was it right there from Miss Michelle Jones. Guys, hope you got this information that she just displayed in terms of your funding and where it's going. Send your money. We need your money. All right. So guys, look, this is Adam with Culturally Distinct Podcast. This is us signing out from Dallas, Texas. We're not going to drink tonight, but we're going to have a good time. Right? We're going to have a good time tonight. Guys, look, I love you guys. You can't do nothing about it. Peace. Boy, Black Adam, I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. I'm here in Dallas, Texas at the Southern Alumni Federation National Convention, and I'm here with a powerhouse that you guys probably know, that you've seen on campus. I'm here with the Dean of College in Science and Engineering.
Science and Engineering, that's
you,
good.
Mr. Dean Martin. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Hey, let me ask you this. Since you're in Dallas, is this your first convention that you came to?
No, it's just the second one.
Okay.
I was at the convention in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
My first year as Dean. And I spoke to the Alumni Federation in Baton Rouge in the ballroom. And just the energy. It was one of my first real exposure to the alumni, Southern alumni, and I walked away with two things. One, the alumni have a very special love for Southern
100%.
that is unique, I think, among all HBCUs and probably rivals most universities across the country. That's the first thing, and the second thing is that I learned is that love extends to almost unconditional support for the university.
100%.
And I think that's something that that puts Southern in a unique position, I think, among universities across the country.
Yeah. So being the Dean of Science and Engineering, one thing I tell and brag about individuals that went to other schools, I said Southern, we're known for a lot of things. And engineering is one of them.
Yes.
Can you talk about the upcoming things that engineering has going on in terms of with the university?
Right. Well, first, with respect to engineering, Southern University used to be the #1 producer of black engineers in the country. This was about 30 years ago. That distinction now belongs to the client team.
Okay.
So one of the things that we're trying to do is sort of regain that recognition.
That #1 spot.
It being the #1 spot. With respect, individually as departments in terms of degrees that we offer, but then also collectively as a college.
Mm-hmm.
We're also sciences and engineering, so I can't leave out biology, chemistry, mathematics, and physics. And so it's really a holistic effort. Our overarching goal is to be the #1 producer of STEM graduates among all of our peer institutions, which includes HBCUs. And I think that we are on the way to doing that. When I came in, just as an example, over the last 10 years before I came, we averaged about 200, 250 incoming freshmen coming in.
Okay.
This year, we have 830 committed freshmen.
Wow.
Now, only about 41% of those have been confirmed through our orientations, but we still have a month to go, and we still have several orientations for those students to come in. And so I know, I think easily we can reach 700.
Oh yeah, easily.
700 freshmen.
So let me ask you this in terms of incoming freshmen, right? Incoming freshmen are students that are on campus that want to transfer that major over or switch majors to engineering.
No, they're coming in.
Oh, these are incoming
These
freshmen.
are incoming freshmen.
Oh wow, they're
Right.
saying this is what we're going to be. We're going to be engineers.
Right, we're going to be scientists and we're going to be engineers.
Wow. So that's pivotal. That's pivotal. Let me ask you this in terms of funding, because I know STEM, a lot of states are investing in STEM.
Yes.
Could you talk about the investment that the state of Louisiana has with Southern University in terms of STEM?
So the state of Louisiana, I think, with respect to STEM, there are lots of different initiatives that are aligned with workforce development and economic development, which makes sense from a STEM standpoint, because if you just look at our backyard between Baton Rouge and Louisiana, there are about 200 to 250 mid-major or major manufacturing companies that need engineers. And so as capital comes into the state to help develop technology and to bolster our manufacturing capacity, the need for engineers and scientists is just going to increase.
Yeah.
So, at Southern University, we just added our chemical engineering program. It was just approved about a month ago by the Board of Regents, and we already have students that are subscribers to that program. We added construction management. We've added computer engineering. We're now looking at adding a systems engineering program, building that program out to help with our collaboration with Boeing and NASA as part of the Artemis program and Artemis project. So we're really trying to grow our programs to meet the needs of the state of Louisiana as capital begins to pour into the state.
That's good. That's good. So, in terms of more students come in, because more is better.
More is better.
More is better. You know, especially with engineers, that is a career where a lot of people get into and they stay in it 30 years,
That's right.
40 years. They don't really venture out of it. You know, it's a lifelong thing. How can we, as alumni or people that are in the community, get involved to get more individuals to know about the engineering program at Southern?
So I'm glad you mentioned that. First, before I answer that question, let me first recognize STEM at Southern.
Okay.
So the College of Science and the College of Engineering were both established independently in 1956.
Okay.
So 2026 marks 70 years of STEM at Southern.
Wow.
What we've decided to do is position the college in preparation of celebration of the 75th, which would be the diamond anniversary of STEM at Southern. Mm-hmm. We want to raise $75 million or generate $75 million in new revenue,
Okay.
to demonstrate just the importance and the impact of the STEM programs that we have at Southern. Now we'll do that through a number of different buckets. One is increasing student enrollment.
Okay.
So as we increase enrollment, those tuition dollars represent sort of a contribution to Southern University from the College of Science and Engineering. And we have other buckets, but one of those buckets is alumni activation. And the way we want to do that is by driving a naming campaign that will allow alums to invest directly in the college by naming classrooms, naming buildings,
Right.
naming departments, naming bricks.
Yes, 100%.
And I think that's important because the students need to see the engagement of the alumni, so that builds a culture and an expectation of what they'll be expected to do when they graduate, which is to go out and be successful so that they can name classrooms.
Something after themselves.
Something after themselves. Not only that, it from an inspiration standpoint, a motivation standpoint, an encouragement standpoint, if they're walking into just for example, the Sidney Jacobs class of '92 classroom, and they're taking their class in that classroom, and then, oh, by the way, they go to homecoming, and there's Sidney Jacobs, right? It's almost like an instant celebrity
100%.
that encourages and motivates them to do their best work. Because here's the person, I've been going to this classroom every day, and sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't, but here's Sidney Jacobs telling me to do my best work. And I think that kind of contribution from alumni is golden.
That's pivotal. That's important.
Yeah.
You know, especially, I know that in this world, if we have our name on something, it's permanent, pretty much. You know, unless you buy a stadium and you get owning rights and all that. Well, other than that, but that's pivotal. So how can people get in contact with your department or Southern in order to invest into the $75 million?
So they can contact me directly, but we also have QR codes all over the conference, all over this particular conference, where we're collecting alumni information so that we can send out newsletters and keep them abreast of the progress that we're making. And also, it connects directly to our website at the foundation, where they can donate or support many of our programs, where they want to support a student organization, or they want to still support the college or a particular department, they'll be able to do that.
Got you. Look, Dean, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
Thank you, man, for the information that you give, because I think that's important. We need more engineers out here, and not just that, but we need more engineers that come from Southern.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
We got more bragging rights, right?
More bragging rights, and the need is there, and I think the students are responding.
100%.
We went from 200 students to 800 in a matter of a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, the word is getting out, and we're becoming more impactful.
Absolutely.
Like Southern is supposed to. Guys, look, this is Coach Need to Think. I'm glad you guys tuned into the show again every week. You know, we're going to have something big about Southern since we're here at the convention. Again, welcome back to the Coach Need to Think podcast. Your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. As you know, as you can see on the background, we at the Southern Alumni Federation National Convention here in Dallas, Texas. And we have some great guests coming up, some great alumni. As you can see on the camera, we have DeMarcus Miller. I'm so used to calling him Boo Boo. If you know about the team of the decade, he was part of that team of the decade from 96
to 99.
96 to 99. You a shade?
Nose guard.
Nose guard. Nose guard.
Trenches.
That's right. Number 99.
No, 94. Look at you.
Hey, I'm tripping, man. That was good, right?
That was Nate.
Nate. That's right. That was Nate. That's right. 94. Yeah, he clogged up the middle. What was that record of that team?
Well, we were 20. Well, the combined ones I finished, we were 26-0.
26-0.
Undefeated, never lost a swag game in my career, and we, dominated 3 championships, the Black College National Championships. Set the standard.
100%.
Created the term Jaguar Nation.
100%.
It was part of that crew there. Great time. Dog Day
That's
D.
when that was created. And we also have one of his proteges that also played at Southern University, Cameron Peterson. Also played D end. D end, right?
Defensive tackle.
D tackle. Oh, you was the inside.
Yeah.
He was a big D tackle, man. Damn. All right, so I'm glad you guys joined the show, man. So I want to get started. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, briefly.
Start out young.
Well, I was originally raised in Mississippi, kind of migrated to Houston, where I met Coach Boo Boo. And from there, man, was able to go on and go to college, and we ended up linking up again my senior year, taking it all the way to SWAC championship, losing there. I was able to ultimately go on and play professionally for the Saints, and kind of found my way back to Houston, and kind of living life at the ball.
Got you. Coach?
Well, I'm originally from Houston, H-Town, Southwest, Piney Point, Texas. Graduated in '96. Was originally a Kansas State signee. Had one visit left. Took my last visit to Southern. They took me to a Capitol party, and the rest is history. Changed that committee quick.
Absolutely.
Ended up coming to Southern, like I say, like you mentioned, was part of one of the most dominant areas in the history of Southern University. I was blessed, as you see, I stand a whole tall 5'9", playing a position that averaged 6'6".
Yeah.
So, NFL wasn't my route, so I ended up playing in the Canadian League for a little bit, and then I played in an Arena League, and once I realized, hey, I'm not going to get rich playing in Arena League and all that, went back to school, finished the degree, got my master's, started my coaching career, and I've been doing it the last 26 years.
Awesome. Let me ask you guys this. I know both of you guys attended Southern University. You guys understand the processes and the things that went on at Southern, right? And I talked about this early. I heard you guys on the panel early talk about this, the processes and being patient and becoming a lead negotiator when it comes to certain things, right? I want to ask you guys this. When it comes to cultivation, right, in your life every day, how has Southern molded you for that?
I think one of the things that oftentimes happen when people try to emphasize what Southern is, but what we do have, we have in the great abundance, something that you can't put a financial price on. For me, it was the opportunity to develop myself as far as being a leader and being a young man. Just being able to be creative when it comes to solutions. I think there's one thing, answers are kind of textbook. People can give you answers, but solutions, you have to be dynamic in thinking, and your ability to kind of piece things together to make things happen. And so I think Southern really cultivated that for me to realize that it's not in the box all the time. It's outside of the box, but it's still a way to get it done.
I think mine was short and sweet. It was about family.
Okay.
I think that was the biggest deal. I come from a situation where, I'm coming from a very dysfunctional family situation. So Southern showed me how family, if you come together and you stick together, obviously it's never going to be picture perfect. Family fight and do all that. But if you really love someone, you come together, you can accomplish amazing things. And I think that was my biggest takeaway.
And both of you guys are both athletes. And you guys said something that was pivotal up there on the stage. You said after football, it was more of okay, what do I do to create a new norm? Because of course, being an athlete from grade school all the way up into college, if you didn't go to the NFL, professional level, even that comes to an end. It's structure. It's practice, weights, meeting, and loop it the same process, right? And every now and then you loop a woman in there every now and then. You know what I'm saying? You throw a woman in there. But in terms of structure, you had that structure throughout the win. So how does a former athlete or a former person that has structure create a new norm when it's no longer needed?
Well, I think first of all you have to find your new why.
Okay.
What am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? What's the purpose? But I don't think you really fall away from that structure because you use those principles, you use those standards as an athlete to propel you into your next chapter in life. And like we mentioned earlier, you still wake up early in the morning. Heck, you knew our schedule was. You had 5 o'clock weights. After weights, you had lunch, then you have class, then you have meetings, then you have practice, then you have wait till you,
Yeah.
so, you know, you're conditioned to do that, but now you take that into the new era, and your new field, and you blow people away because they look at it, oh, why, how do you do that, or why you do that? But for us, that's just second nature.
100%.
No, we come early, and we stay late until the job is done. And that's our new norm. That's our old norm, but,
Right.
you know, I think you inspire people, because people don't understand, if you want to be great, if you want to be successful in what you do, you have to go above and beyond. And I think as a former athlete, that's just embedded in you.
Right.
And so it helps motivate others to step their game up.
And to piggyback off of that, I think it's an interesting perspective shift. As a player, you're just responsible for results, and coaches kind of come up with the process. But now, as you kind of take that helmet off, now you have to become more process oriented. Like you said, it's not really about changing something. It's just about, all right, now I get to determine the why and where we're going.
Yeah.
I think for me, that was one of the more challenging things, because I had to kind of reprioritize the things that were important to me, and really be honest with myself about what do I want out of this life, what is my goal, what is my mission. And so you go from being given a mission to defining your own. So I think that definitely is the thing for me.
That's good. Knowing your why. What's your why? I want to ask you guys this. You guys watch football. You guys watch Southern football. What's going on? What's the? We mentioned this off of camera, everybody. Cameron mentioned something. It's like, what happened when we went from dominance to mediocre to nothing.
You put me on the spot. Well, and you know, just to share it, it's just a transparency. When they came back my senior year, and we were exposed to what Southern's culture really is supposed to be, and it's shocking. It shocked me because there was such a different level of pedigree that I hadn't experienced in my time there. Where it went from things being kind of, we're just trying to get through this, to know this is how we're going to do every single thing we do. We're going to approach with a certain tenacity, there's a certain expectation. Our entire team participated in every single function, whether it was weightlifting, whether it was team runs, whether it was an outing, the entire team from the head coach to equipment manager, you know. And to see that unity that we had, and you ask, I think it's one of those things where we live in a world now where all the back-end benefits are given up front. People know your name before you ever take a snap, and they think the world of you. I think that's the biggest thing that kind of distracts our program now, because we have such an amazing fan base. Mm-hmm. And so they love you from the get, and they want to give you the world right from the beginning. But I think it's just one of those things where we have to go back to really, you earn what you keep.
100%. 100%.
How to look at it? Let's be 100. If you're going to be a dominant team, first it starts, you have to have talent. I don't care who your coaching staff is. I don't care who's out there coaching. You have Belichick out there. You have to have some talent.
Jimmy's and Joe's.
All right? If you don't have the Jimmy's and Joe's, I can care less about your X's and O's. Now, how those Southern, or what happened, or how Southern lost those Jimmy's and Joe's, think about it. The game of college football has changed. Mm-hmm. All right? And I'm going to scream it, and somebody's finally going to pay attention and listen to me. There's 4 things you have to have a successful program in today's football. You have to have adequate facilities. You have to have quality nutrition. Mm-hmm. You have to have adequate living space. And you got to have some money. It's the NIL world.
Resources, yeah.
So what did we lose? We don't have those things enough. And you can't compete in today's college football without it.
Right.
Now, what did we have? We had talent. We didn't have those other things.
No.
But one thing we did have a family. So, like I said, after we left the weight room at 6 o'clock, we all went right to Mayberry. And you look at them first 5 tables to the right, it was all football. If it was non-football when we walked in, they had to leave. Because that was our huddle area. But we bonded as a family. When you saw the difference that I saw as I got into coaching and looking at the Southern, when you saw us, when you saw one, you saw us all.
Yeah.
You know, and now they have so much where, you know, I'm gonna grab my plate and leave and go to the dorm and eat and da-da-da. So there's no bonding. There's no real family. And I don't care who you are. On 4th and 1, if you ain't paid the dues with me beforehand, I can't trust you at 4th and 1. And so when you don't have that, that's what I saw a lack of. That family, that bond. Because, hey, We went to Club Dreams and we went to Upscale.
Upscale, that's
Hey, and one of our knuckleheads did something stupid. Guess what? It was a brawl.
We all fight. That's right.
Now we gonna jump and talk about your butt when we get back home about what you shouldn't have done. But at that point, it was one for all.
That's right.
Our motto in D-line, we was 4 heads, 8 legs, and 1 heartbeat, and we took that to serious, took that to heart.
Yeah.
That's what I don't see. But you take like that talent and all those 4 things I talk about, it's that family bonding, man, becoming one.
But that's important because, and the reason why I can resonate with that, because I experienced it firsthand, you know, with the receivers and tight ends, you know. We, every day, even to this day, we still have that same relationship.
That's right.
If you see one of us, you will see all of us,
That's right.
So it's that one bond that we cultivated starting from Coach Richardson on down, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get that, man. I love that. And y'all can feel the passion in the camera. I know that Paige over here, she like, let's do it.
Hey, hold on.
I would say this, man. I remember they made us do all they implemented, like it was mandatory. We ate together, and I remember our camps, man, that fall camp, we couldn't leave. Oh, you got so sick and tired of seeing everybody the same, but even to this day, everybody that went through that, it's like, man, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't even pay for. It's memories and relationships that that last a lifetime, like you said.
So that's gonna be my last question. I'm glad you said that about relationships. In terms of relationships, what has Southern taught you how to build and cultivate relationships? How has like that relationship building, like you spoke about it briefly about the team, but I'm talking about just in life in general.
One thing I will say is hard to be successful on your own. Whether it's the people, and I can be a testament to this, people who come in your life and boost you up or hold you to a higher standard, or it's people that can get things done that might necessarily be outside of your reach. One thing at Southern, like you said, we have dynamic processes that are so lovely and just wouldn't trade them for the world, but they teach you that you need to know who's in that financial layoff. You need to know who's in housing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You got to know who back there on the grill and Mayberry. Just little stuff like that, but it helps you realize that these relationships move things in life. They move you personally, and they move others around you. And so I think one thing that was really just learning something like, man, relationships are like one of the most powerful tools in the world.
It's before Boo Boo go, it's a funny thing you said that it's the most expensive currency in life is relationships. It's not money, it's about relationships. It's about who you know. Because who you know could get you in the door anywhere. There's a lot of places, I'm talking about across the world. I've been, somebody tapped on my shoulder, like, you know him? Oh, yeah, y'all good. Just like that. And these dudes paying X, Y, and Z type of dollars, they ain't paying nothing. Just for relationships. So that's the highest currency that I tell people.
You hit it on the head, Congo. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, you good, yeah.
Black out.
Yeah, there you go.
Black out. Man, relationships matter.
100%.
That is the key to life. I tell folks, look, I'm almost 50 years old, and I've worked since I was 16, and I've never interviewed for a job. Every job that I had, it was because of a relationship that I had with someone, or someone knew someone that knew me. And that's what I stress to my players, to my kids. It's about building relationships. And the key to life is this, hey, respect. I think everything starts with respect. And because respect is gonna, as I mentioned earlier, respect is gonna open doors for you that money can't. Right? And so if you build your life on respect, if you build your life on sacrifice, meaning I gotta give up me. I can't have everything. I was probably the old selfish one. And then when I had kids, that really made me open up. It's not about you.
Right.
So if you realize if it's about giving back, and if it's about respect, I'm telling you, like you say, the world is at your hand, at your feet. And that's what Southern taught me. Because why? Mama raised me, she said, baby, whenever you go into a new environment, it's 3 people you have to know. You know the secretary, you know the janitor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Those are the people, I said 2 people. But those are the people that I always step, as folks, outside people will look at as the less important people. But those are the most important people.
Knows everybody.
The janitor and the secretary, you make relationships with everybody. So every number, I always went to the cafeteria lady.
That's right.
I went to the cafeteria lady, I went to the head janitor and the secretary. Why? Because what they say, you think they're the little people, but they have the most influence. They have the most power.
Most impact.
And so, and that's what it's about. Appreciate what folks would call the little people. Show respect, and I'm telling you, the Lord will open up doors for you.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Kenny, How can the people follow you guys? Social media or anything? Are you on social media? Because I don't know if you're on social media. Cameron, you on social media?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Cameron P, CAMRONP. That's pretty much it, man.
Facebook. I'm old school, baby. Facebook, you know. But you know, I like that. I don't really do much of the social media, but Facebook, you know, and sitting on the yard. Hey, this is the first time in 26 years I'm not coaching somebody's team.
Wow.
So I'm gonna enjoy being a fan. So I finally get to tailgate.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna be out there tailgating. I'm gonna be out there cheering my Jaguars on, and so see me on the yard. We gonna kick it. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. Baton Rouge is gonna be the home. The wife ain't letting me move back to Houston. So we'll be out there.
All right, cool, man. I'm glad you guys came to the show, man. Appreciate it, man. Y'all motivated me to go back working out, even though I work out already. I'm gonna work out a little harder. All right, guys. But I thank you guys for tuning in. You already know where to find me at. Costly Distinct everywhere. It's Black Adam. I love you guys. You can't do nothing about it.
That's Congo. There ain't no Black Adam. That's Congo. It's talking about Black Adam.
Good luck to the Costly Distinct podcast. Your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned back in the show. I'm here in hot Dallas, Texas, at the Southern University Alumni Federation National Convention. I'm here with a fellow alumni, Mr. Reggie McCoy.
How you doing, man?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, happy to be here, man.
You enjoying this weather, man? Oh, you live here?
It's hot. It's just the worst week to be in Dallas, man. It's 100 degrees in there.
108 degrees today.
Nah, ridiculous.
I had my car temperature on 60 degrees. It felt like it was 85.
It ain't cold enough.
It's crazy, right?
Ain't cold enough. You gotta go listen to that.
I know, right? It's crazy, right? So, Reggie, look, take us down your journey down SU. What years were you at SU?
I was at SU 2013, 2017.
Okay, and you a Southern baby. You was raised on campus.
Yep.
Then you transferred and went to campus.
Yep. So went to Southern Lab, graduated from Southern Lab. I actually started Southern Lab from pre-K to 12th. So got my whole life. Older cousins went to Southern. Mom went to Southern. Older cousin played football with you.
Mm-hmm.
So Pat Tyson played center. And then transitioned with the Southern University, majored in finance with a minor in marketing, and went from there.
Man, that's amazing, man. So you know what's funny? You and I have two different dynamics. I'm gonna tell you why. So I went to all white schools, elementary, middle school, high school.
Yeah.
When I got to Southern, I didn't know what the word. I culture shock. I was like, what in the world? They have all these colors over here. But no, it was something that I needed because when I got there, I blended in and I understood my people.
Mm-hmm.
But you was raised on campus.
Yeah, raised on campus, and it's funny that you say that because even coming up to like my junior and senior year, in my head I was like, I don't know, I've been at Southern all my life. I think I want to transition to go somewhere else. So I was looking at UL, I was looking at Southeastern, but still I just knew being around Southern so long and coming on campus every Saturday for a football game. I was like, I know I'm gonna drive back on Saturdays to the game.
100%.
So eventually, I ended up submitting my application, got accepted to all of them. Submitted my application, Southern was like, hey, you accepted, and then also, just knowing, having some connections, they was like, look, we can throw you some extra money on top of your tops, get you, basically for free. So
you got a little money, you got a little change, pocket change, man. So when I was in school, they used to have this club called Upscale. So every Thursday, we used to go to Upscale for Nicholson, and that was the spot. Everybody I had a car. I'm the only one on the team who had a car, so they used to give me like $5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you how old. I'm about to take this back. This when gas used to be 96 cents a gallon.
Oh, you said.
You know what I'm saying? So $5, I put $5 in there. I got 5 gallons. I can get grocery or whatever. Yeah, man. So let me ask you this: you majored in business finance.
Yeah.
Right. What made you get into that field? Because a lot of brothers, of course, they go to college. The first thing they say, okay, general studies, or I'm gonna be education.
Yeah. Right. So for me, just going into the College of Business, I had an older cousin that majored in finance.
Okay.
So I was already kind of talking to her and saying, what routes do you think I should kind of take? And I was looking at business management to start off. And she was just like, as far as business management is good, but if you want to get a more broad, feel for everything, accounting, marketing, finance, do finance. So, took your advice a little bit and went ahead and did it. And I would say that was one of the best decisions that I made because just going there and actually taking some of the classes, taking the marketing class, Dr. Powell, I give it back to Dr. Powell. She actually encouraged me to go ahead and do a minor in marketing. And she kind of built my confidence to start public speaking and kind of go from there. So, and then also just talk to Dean Andrews and I actually became the president of the finance club and everything.
Oh, dope.
So,
Dope.
yeah, just kind of push myself that way.
But that's good though, because you know that's one of those fields that a lot of us, especially black men, don't go into. But now, the world is your oyster when it comes to that, because one, the world has to deal with finance in any aspect you're in, right? If you're talking about sports all the way to C-suites, you got to talk about finance. I want to ask you this: how has Southern cultivated you as a person, as a man, in that field?
In this field, you know, just right now, I actually work in a bank. So,
Okay.
going and viewing people's credit and actually, you know, helping them get a financial plan moving forward and being a financial advisor, I would say that's the biggest thing, especially just for us, as far as black people. You know, we were taught different. Credit is one of those things we really don't want to talk about too much. You know, credit cards are bad. You know, that's pretty much how I grew up.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah, I heard a lot of aunts, uncles, credit cards bad, don't get no credit card, don't do this, don't do that. But you also have to start somewhere when you're looking at building credit. And first thing, if you're looking at home ownership and things like that, you got to start with a credit card. Or you got to start with building your credit report. If not, we're going to be renting out our lives. And if we're renting out our lives, we're not building no type of equity. And I feel like that's our main goal. We need to get more into real estate, build equity, and kind of go from there.
You know what's funny about that, and I could get in this conversation because I used to teach financial literacy on my podcast, but I stopped because I felt that I was forcing people to do something that they wasn't prepared for. You know what I'm saying? Because if credit is a discipline game, right? I think that's why a lot of jobs check credit reports. That's why a lot of credit card companies or mortgage, you know, big purchases, they check credit because I think they determine your discipline.
Yeah.
Right? Because I have that $30,000 limit. You know, if I only have $1,000 spending on it, it's like, okay, well, you're disciplined. You know what I'm saying? But you put $25,000 on it, they're gonna give you more because they know you're gonna keep spending, right?
So it's gaining interest.
They're gaining interest on it. And that's the name of the game, the interest game. But that is important, man. I want to encourage you to keep doing that, especially for us, because a lot of us don't know.
Yep.
Like my generation are the ones that start to understand it, but the ones prior to me, they didn't understand that whole credit thing. You know what I'm saying? It was very few and far between the ones who did. But back then, you know, that's when the houses was like $20,000.
Exactly.
But now the houses are quadruple that. You know what I'm saying? So you need credit to get them. Let me ask you this, Reggie. When you transitioned over from Baton Rouge to Dallas, what did that look like? Was it a like with the transition? Was it like something hard to transition over to, or was it automatically aligned?
I would say it's kind of both. You know, just transitioning from being in Baton Rouge my whole life to stepping into a new area, learning a new city, especially a larger city.
Yes.
As far as Dallas, being a metroplex, being larger than the state of Louisiana overall. So I would say also it just kind of took, it was easy because I had a good support system. So I had older cousins that actually lived here, family that lived here, and they were able to, you know, help me secure a job, help me secure some actual housing and things like that, and kind of move forward and start that new process. And then ever since, you know, it's just sky's the limit.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people that come from Louisiana, and they come over to another state, and they're like, I'm going back home because they say either too fast, or they just don't understand the culture. And you know, especially, so the good thing is finance is like counting, right? 1 + 1 in New Orleans is 1 + 1 in Houston. You know what I'm saying? So it's just basic formation, right? So when it comes to, my last question for you, when it comes to discipline, because we spoke about discipline, we spoke about credit. When it comes to discipline, do you do that in your everyday life, like just discipline in working out, or like what is your routine every day in your everyday life?
Yeah, so as far as me and my fiance, we wake up 5 a.m. to go work out.
Oh, wow.
If we don't catch the 5 a.m., we doing it right after work.
Oh, wow,
So we
okay.
try to stay with each other about that.
That's good.
Discipline with our finances. So we actually take the time, sit out, plan, and see exactly, okay, this is what we got coming up as far as the next few months, the next few weeks. This is how we need to budget and go from there. So, you know, I would say it's week to week, month to month, year to year, and kind of go from there, and then also be able to save on top of that because you never know what may happen.
100%.
Life happens every day.
Oh yeah,
So,
rainy day.
yeah, you
Always
want to make sure you have a rainy day fund, and just, you know, statistically, in America, 90% of Americans don't even have $500 saved.
100%.
So with that being said, you gotta be able to prepare yourself.
That's crazy, but that's a crazy number.
It is.
Either so it's a disconnect. Either we're not getting paid enough money, or we're not managing what we're getting.
Right.
Right? Or things are just too high. I think things are just high.
It is.
I went to the store the other day and brought me something like eggs. It was like $6. I was like, what's going on? I don't get it. So, so Reggie, let me ask you this: how can individuals get in contact with you? Because I'm pretty sure you'll be an asset. Just I don't know if you do like the financial training, teaching, but if, how can individuals get in contact with you for you to help them out?
So, Instagram, Facebook, Reggie McCoy. On Instagram is Reg McCoy. Also, you know, I do run a platform as well for the recruits. So recruits for .su on Instagram and Twitter. As far as that platform is mainly just kind of guided towards promoting our student athletes. I feel like one thing we kind of lack at the university is marketing.
Yes, 100%.
In order for us to, and our student athletes to secure NIL, we got to be able to market them. That's the first thing that these corporate companies are going to look at. Are those kids marketable? We have to push our own product first in order for them to pick that up.
I want to ask you this. I'm glad you said that. This is my last question. That was my last one. This is my last one. It's like a Baptist preacher.
Nah, you good.
And I'm closing. So, in terms of that, I want to know, what have you seen in terms of marketing? What are companies really looking for in our recruits? Not even recruits, but our players. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's something, like I said, we don't, as something, they don't really have that understanding, for lack of a better word, on what it looks like for sponsors or people to come in to see, you know what I'm saying, without them actually coming to see first.
Yeah, I would say, number one, are those kids marketable? Again, so they're looking at, what's your Instagram page like? What are you posting?
Okay.
You know, what's your footprint when it comes to that? So we have to be able to create those footprints. You know, say, or as just growing up, man, I remember watching Quincy Reshaw, Ryan Lee, you know, James Vernon, guys like that. We got to be able to take that next generation, the Kelby Gibbons, the Cam Petersons of the world, to be able to push them and actually put them on that platform, saying, hey, these are our stars. This is the recognition that we're giving them, and we're behind them, and be able to push that, because that's going to be one of those things that, okay, I see that this kid, Kelby Gibbons, is a good player, and then also he has this type of backing with the next fan base. How can we promote that? That's going to be the first thing that we got to do.
That's good, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. If any way you need support, let me know. We're going to be on campus a lot this year, me and JB. We're going to be sidelined. I talked to Marshall earlier today. We had an interview. So we're going to do a lot of stuff at Southern. We help them out the best way we could before asking for a check.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got no money for this. But anyway, man, Reggie, man, thank you for coming on the show, man. Guys, this is the Cost Eat to Stink podcast. And we're signing off from Dallas, man. I love you guys, man. You can't do nothing about it. Peace. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was beautiful.
It was good?
It was very good.